Hi, welcome to That's a Thing Accent Core, episode point 7. It's Monday, April the 27th, and I guess we're finishing up month 1 of quarantine.
I'd say it's like month 1.5. I still
Yeah.
I still look at quarantine. Quarantine began when basketball stopped. That in my brain, that's when quarantine's like the soft beginning.
Yeah. I don't really know when basketball stopped.
It was in the middle of March because the March Madness tournament, the NCAA tournament got
Yeah,
canceled.
that got cool.
So to
Yeah.
me, that's when that's the soft start of quarantine is when March
Yo,
Madness
how
got
many
canceled.
how many of those Jeopardy football questions did you know?
Like two.
Oh, show off.
Well, some of them like it's they were asking questions that were from teams before I started watching football. Where I didn't know what like the Minnesota Vikings Super Bowl line was. I wasn't watching football then when Minnesota
Yeah, but
won.
also that name makes a lot of sense. And as soon as they say it, you're like, yeah, well, I guess I just know that now. That makes too much sense for me not to remember.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Yeah,
oh,
yeah. King of the Hill has Tom Landry.
of course. I mean, I knew like and there's one of them. I think it would have gone to judges and it would have been a 50-50. I can't remember what, but I called it something and they called it. It was like it was
Offset.
yeah. It was I said it was an offset penalty when it's like offsetting penalty because
Yeah.
whenever I was, it was like oh,
Yeah, that
No one's
counts.
back.
all right, Nolan, you're here. Nolan, we were talking about Goros, so that's why I had to start the podcast.
Oh, you mean the guy who's been turned into the greatest jobber ever?
Yeah,
Yeah. The Shokan's proudest warrior, Goro.
Well, no,
his
the biggest
dad,
jobber in
Gorbat.
MK right now got beat him.
No,
So now he looks
wait.
even
Baraka
weaker.
beat. Wait, Baraka beat Goro.
No, Kotal Khan
Oh.
beat Goro.
Kotal
Oh,
Khan
well,
is the
Baraka.
no. Kotal Khan is
Baraka
way
is-
more. Baraka got
Baraka.
play.
Baraka is the jobber of MK.
I don't know, man. Baraka has had one, maybe two moments. Every time Kotal Khan has showed up in a game, it's to get just destroyed. Every story mode cutscene with Kotal Khan is him being beaten or crippled or just like you see him like, oh man, he's so tough, and then he gets his butt kicked and he barely like scrapes and he's like crawling on the ground. That's Kotal Khan.
But he's only been in 2 games. Baraka is like 20 years old at this point of jobbing.
I mean, but that's the Tar Cottons. The Tar Cottons are not a Baraka, even though I call them all Barakas.
No, and Baraka is their champion who epitomizes their ideals of jobbing the most.
I don't know. I like Baraka. He's stupid.
He's
Oh.
very.
I like how they can't talk, but
Yeah.
they still do. It was weird in MK 11 when you're going through the Baraka camps, and you see like the innocent civilian Barakas, and they're looking at you like, please don't hurt us. And then 2 seconds later in the cutscene, you're in like the flayed human like barbecue.
Yeah, the market. Yeah.
I'm just like, what? It's a bit of total whiplash.
Hey, Kevin, you can't judge their culture. They're different.
I mean, I guess I've seen humanity. If someone like had flayed us and were eating, I'm like, yeah, probably. I get
Let's
that.
be real. Let's be real. This is the exact same thing since we saw that he realized, like, oh, humans are way worse than Baraka.
Yeah, Barakas are just doing it to eat. It's just how they eat.
Yeah.
They don't have molars to eat plants. It's all pointy teeths.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you think they got? No, I imagine Baraka still have a vestigial like molar.
They gotta have something to talk. Like there's some sort of cause if you just talk like this, basically you just don't. You gotta like not. You don't use your lips. You don't use your lips at all. Or just and also, I mean, it's the age old fantasy quandary of Baraka's eating humans is not cannibalism. Like if I were to eat an elf, that's not cannibalism. Elf ain't a human.
Sentient.
They are sentient.
Yeah. Still weird.
Oh, it's weird, but it's not cannibalism. It's that one. That's the line of eating a sentient or a sapient race of creatures.
Yeah, as soon as something hits sapient, I just don't think you do.
Yeah. So,
as soon as that first cow stands up in a field, then beef is off the table.
So it's done once cows have created cow tools.
Yep.
Cow. See that?
Actually, no, that's not true because some animals do use tools. That's not the limit.
No, I mean the cow tools where it has it's not like a monkey with a stick. Yeah. It's that Gary Larson Far Side comic is real now.
Don't bring up cow tools.
Yeah, no, we need cow tools. It's one of the best comics ever made.
No, whenever there's a cow tool time, that's...
Oh, I like it. Also, yeah, this podcast is just stream of conscious now. There's no themes. Because every day is turning into the same day. So we just gotta talk about just whatever. Talk about
Try to imagine the tool time, or I guess the home improvement, like that noise, that wah, except it's a moo.
It'd be like a moo, but you gotta go like a... Man. Isn't it weird how shitty Tim Allen is? Like, is that weird to anyone else?
No, he's a Hollywood celeb. I just assume most of them are shitty human beings.
I think maybe it's because my exposure was on watching Home Improvement, and I remember our family really liked it, so my brain like associated. No, he's just kind of like a goofy, family-friendly guy, and then you discover, nah, he isn't.
Yeah, no, it's he's the right equivalent to Bob Saget.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I say that, yeah, he's the right-wing Bob Saget.
Oh, that's man. That's a bummer. You know, it isn't a bummer. I watched the Kung Fu movie 5 Elements Ninja.
Oh, that movie's so good.
Yeah, I like that movie. That was sick. That movie held up.
Oh, who's your favorite?
Of the ninjas?
Wait, no, sorry, scratch that.
I didn't.
Thinking,
5 Deadly Venoms.
I was thinking 5 Deadly.
5 Deadly Venoms is on my list. So 5 Elements Ninja, it's great because each ninja has a technique, and
that's the one where they're all kangaroos, right?
No, that's God, what was that movie called? It's not Legend of the Guardians, and it's not Guardians of Garhool, because I always like to say my brain always autocompletes Guardians with Garhool, a movie with the owls.
Like Warriors of
Virtue. Warriors of Virtue. I was weirded out when the Warriors of Virtue showed up in Tank Girl. And then Tank Girl wanted to have sex with one of the Warriors of Virtue.
I'm more just confused. I just don't like that movie ends with the kid waking up still on the pipe.
What? Is that how that movie ends?
Yeah, like that's how that movie is. It's like it's like the water never came rushing out, and knocked him into the whirlpool that's in him there. He's still like waiting to walk across the pipe.
Dude, that's kind of okay. So that's one of my that'll fuck you up. I think that goes to the idea of like, what is that kid's life gonna be? So he goes on the adventure with the Warriors of Virtue. That's obviously the high point of your life. If you go on a kung fu adventure with anthropomorphic animals, your life does not get better from there. It's just downhill.
But see, like, that's what I don't understand is, did he just imagine it all?
No, see, yeah, because that's gonna make therapy. That's a lot of questions.
He doesn't cut back to being, like, resuscitated after falling in the water. No, he cuts back to literally standing on that pipe. Is this like a me scenario where you go, what's the worst that could happen? And then you're imagining yourself like having a karate kangaroo adventure? And you're like, that's exactly what's gonna happen. Is that like What?
because like, is that me? Because I now I understand. That makes sense. It's like, what's gonna happen? Oh fuck, I'm gonna go into some kung fu kangaroo adventure and learn a moral lesson. Ugh. Disgusting.
Okay, so A, I'm gonna circle back to something else that my brain also just. But B, reading the plot summary. So after he cuts back to standing on the pipe waiting to walk across, that the other water pipe does just open and gush out water like it would have done had he tried to walk across.
Oh man, does that mean he has some kind of nin? Did he have like did he go into Zetsu and see what's gonna happen?
Don't know.
Cause see, now that so if the pipe didn't burn, okay, so let's take it back. If he is standing on the pipe, right, and it doesn't burst, the water burst and it takes him to the Warriors of Virtue. And then, so at the end of the movie, he's standing before the pipe, which means he's kind of dazed, you would imagine. And then the pipe burst, like shoots water where he would have been standing. Then you go, do I have precognitive powers? Do I have powers?
See, my more immediate question is, do I jump into the water?
Oh, that's interesting. That's a conundrum.
Because if you jump into the water, that answers your question of precognitive powers or ADHD. Because if you jump in and you get taken to Terra Mystica, that means you have superpowers because you knew all of this was going to happen.
Yeah, because then
exactly.
Then you're going through Warriors of the Virtue with knowledge of the exact way of how to defeat Warriors of Virtue. Like you're just like, they're all confused because you're like speed running the Warriors of Virtue. Oh, that's.
Also, I don't know if there's the other shot of they're all confused because you're oddly calm about everything.
Like, yes, you're the kangaroo warrior of peace and harmony or whatever, and the guy's like, what? You're way too calm about this. See, that's, oh man, that's weird.
Yeah.
That's like the second weirdest revelation I've had about an old movie since whenever I watched Little Monsters because of Homestuck, and I realized that Homestuck is just the plot of Little Monsters.
I don't think I've ever watched Little Monsters.
It's not a good movie, but there are so many designs of little monsters that for some reason Andrew Hussey took whole hog and just used them in his comic. The main character is just Dave. He's a blonde kid and he puts on sunglasses and he has a red shirt and you're like, what? It's weird.
that all the trolls are just little monsters?
Yeah, like the Howie Mandel troll guy is exactly. He has the candy corn horns, and he talks and he acts like them, and it's just weird. It's really weird. There's like time shenanigans going on.
The apple juice.
Yeah. Well, that was a overt reference that became, but it's just like it's so much. It'd be like if I made my webcomic or whatever, and one of the key plot points was Legends of the Warriors of Virtue.
Warriors of Virtue.
And that was key to several things, and you'd be like, "What? No."
Tell me about your Warriors of Virtue, OC Kevin.
I don't have one. I don't remember. But you could tell everyone how you getting into that Zatch Bell.
Okay, so that line from the theme song is just in my brain. It is one of the like audio clips that never left it.
Yeah.
So like that's why I tweeted, "Courage and heart cannot be lost or torn apart."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I'm torn between the idea of like okay, so like the middle school 8th grade edgy thing is when you find your Momoto, the book they give you is full of blank pages.
Yeah. Well, that's how it is, isn't it?
No, it's full of pages you can't read.
Oh,
and then like you find one you can read. So blank pages, and then every time you beat an enemy Momoto, you gain one of their spells that goes.
Yeah, I get you.
That's the middle. The other one I'm thinking more so of is you have a dog-looking Momoto,
Yeah.
and each spell you cast into a different breed of dog that gives it a different.
That's sort of what happens with Polygon. He gets armor.
Yeah, he gets armor and stuff. But no, I mean like I read a spell and it turns into a greyhound-looking dog and it's bad. Or it turns into a mastiff-looking dog and it's wrong.
How do you feel about Zatch Bell, Nolan?
I love me some Zatch Bell.
Yeah. It's really good. It's
Balling.
I think Oh yeah, you go, Nolan. I'm sorry.
No, well, I used to watch it as a kid on 4Kids, and I thought it was okay, and then I at some point got to watch the actual sub. I'm like, damn, this is good.
It's like Zatch Bell.
It's solid.
It's very good. I would describe it as there's some elements in Zatch Bell that I don't think have aged as well as some other stuff in there. I would describe it as the I'm just gonna call it the Newgrounds effect. Probably there's something else where it's just like at the time this is probably way more funny or way more accepted, and now you're just like, ugh.
But do you mean all the boob jokes in the show?
Yeah, like Paco Folgore's like song is groping tits. But the joke that he's doing his stupid dance and everyone starts dancing and is okay with it is still funny. Like that is funny.
Yeah, no, it's funny every time a enemy starts dancing and Zatch and other Momotos just start mirroring.
It's why Victorine kept showing up. That's one of the in the manga where he kept getting fan mail. So throughout all the later chapters, they'll show like all the friends that have supported him on the way, and Victorine is always also there, like in the flashback, giving a thumbs up. It's like that's for you because you all love him. Very melon. I just love Zatch Bell. I think it is. It does the thing. The only thing that's done it equivalently is One Piece, where I think Zatch Bell does it better of having a really stupid character, and then at the end they will go out like the greatest hero that ever was, and then you feel real bad. where you're like, here's Farty the farting clown. And then, like, 20 chapters later, you're like, Farty the farting clown is the greatest hero that ever was.
Damn it, you're a man, farting the fart clown.
Because you're like, oh no! And maybe I'm forgetting, but they're just... It did stuff where it would just do these lame jokes, but then when the character was gone, the other characters would be expecting the joke, and it just wouldn't happen. It just wouldn't. They're like, no, they're gone. They're gone. That ain't happening no more. It was weirdly sorrowful.
Some of that is also
in the manga. The manga's way better.
Well,
Wait, so who was your favorite Momoto?
Probably I still like Zatch the best. Zatch is a really strong Momoto. I like Ponygon a lot. I think Kanchome and Falgore have the best moments in the show. I mean, it's not even in the show. It's in, like, the last arc. Their moments are so strong. I love it.
what's the ladybug?
I think it's just called Ropes. That's a good one.
Oh, wait a second. Don't you mean Victorine?
Oh, yeah, of course. It's always Victorine. He's the people's champion. I actually really like Brago and Sherry. I like those two. I like that they're the edgy team, but Brago and them is like they're actually have a good heart. I appreciate that. Where the Vegeta has a good heart, and everyone's like, yeah, he's real tough, but kind of like Vegeta-y, but he's still he's good underneath. I like that.
I haven't watched enough of it to really know.
Yeah, and then of course there's like the one-off ones. I can't remember. I like the
Johnny?
Danny. It's Danny Boy. Danny, I love Danny.
Oh yeah,
He's
Danny boys.
It was like his only spell was just healing him.
Yep, that's all he can do. And he's just a trooper. I like.
Getting shot with those laser guns.
Oh, those are great. I liked. I do like Zatch's evil brother Zeno.
Dino.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember how well they do it in the show, but in the manga, he's really interesting. Zatch.
Belgium EO.
Which one is that?
Belgium EO. It's the big mummy in the seat.
Oh yeah. Okay, remember that. I liked. What was that one? I can't remember. It's the guy. He kind of looks like Devilman. His partner was like a Russian man, and he was the one that the first one that actually just beat Zatch.
Shit. I can't remember.
I remember it has my favorite moment, which is where Kyo gets in a forklift and just rams into the other Momoto. Because he's like, we gotta stop it.
What was the fight where Parco Fagore just takes the other guy's book and throws it in a fire?
That was on the beach with someone where Kanchome does his spell where it just makes himself look like he's really big, and the other guys got scared, so Falco Falgore just, while they were distracted, grabs their book and chucks it in a fire and starts dancing away, and they're like, oh no. That's actually how a lot of Paco Falgore's fights go. It's either Kanchome gets really small and then like runs over and sets their book on fire, or they just ignore him and he runs away.
It's so smart. I love it.
Yeah. I liked a lot of the lore. I don't know if they gave it in the show about what Bowser Kerga actually is, because it's pretty cool.
Like Dragon of the Darkness Flame.
Yeah, it's an evil killing technique. So if your heart is evil, it'll immediately backfire, which makes it really useful in a demon or Makai or Momodo tournament. That's why Zatch's dad was able to win, because he's just like, yeah, I have a technique that destroys evil, and it just dominated.
So what are your Zatch Bell?
I think there would be two. If it was me when I was actually watching Zatch Bell, it'd probably look more like a black mage and have time powers. I mean, that it would be like a time wizard, kind of looks like a black mage or a Kirby thing. But if I'm being real, if I had to be true to the spirit of the show, the power set would be the same, but it would look way stupider. Like, it would have like a stupid clock face and kind of look like TT from Diddy Kong Racing. It'd be like annoying, because to me, that's what a Zatch Bell OC should be. Is kind of stupid and annoying. Because, you know, that's how Zatch Bell rolls. That's how the good characters are.
Yeah, all the good Zatch is dumb.
Yeah. Like that stupid, evil little girl that just tormented Zatch. Okay, I will say, I like dub Zatch Bell's voice way more than the Japanese voice. I think the Jimmy Neutron voice accentuates how annoying Zatch Bell is supposed to be. Because to me, he should, at the beginning, he should not be just like, oh, it's a kid. It should be, this is an aggravating kid. Like, that voice fits him so well.
Also, you better understand why Kyo's so upset with Zatch, so pissed off all the time.
Yeah, because it's that kind of unnatural kid voice, which works because he's like a demon child. Where if it's like in the Japanese, he just sounds like a kid, and a lot of that I'm like, okay, that's just how a child acts. But when you put that Jimmy Neutron voice, you're getting like a fake child, and then to me that amplifies what's going on here.
You know, one of the worst dub voices times I can think of.
The guy in the One Piece movie.
No, this is, I would say, worse than that guy. Is Joseph Joestar's dub voice.
Oh, yeah! Number one is not the voice for Joseph Joestar.
No, and I don't know how that casting went of. Besides, well, he's supposed to be English. We need an English person, like, sounding accent.
I would have been fine if it was Jonathan. I would have been way more on board if it was Jonathan Joestar that sounded like number one.
It's also, my problem will always be that guy is number one.
Oh yeah, of course.
That voice is now typecast.
Yeah, it's the same as,
at least tried to down pitch it or something.
It's the same as Robin from Teen Titans. Where you're like, yep, that's Robin.
Yeah.
Like,
or number 5.
Yeah, you got Cree Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one where it's like, yeah, that's always you. Some of them are not. Kids Next Door's weird.
It's not good.
It's
but there's a lot of good ideas in it.
Yeah, it's like Danny Phantom. It's equivalent.
The Christmas X-Men parody.
It's on point.
Yes, it is. The naming conventions for those elves is especially on point.
Well, remember they did that Matrix parody, and it was like on point. They could pair. That crew can do a good parody.
Yeah. Wintergreen. Who recognized that as a Wolverine parody name?
Because it's so smart. It sounds like it. Oh man. I think one of the things about Kids Next Door that I always felt weird watching it because technically I was on the enemy team. You know?
Yeah. You would have been a teenager.
I was like, I don't remember when Kids Next Door came out. I was in high school at least. And it was weird because I'm like, I don't know, man. Like it's like I'm watching the Insurgency.
It would be around 2002 that it started, I think.
Yeah.
And that's not counting the
What a Cartoon special. Yeah, that's
yeah. Okay, so fun fact, Kids Next Door spun out of the Jimmy and the...
What?
Do you remember Jimmy and the Chimp?
Yes, I do! Salmonella Fitzgerald.
They were originally going to be recurring characters in that series, but instead it got spun off into its own thing.
Wow. That's... Yeah, because doesn't that scientist appear in Kids Next Door?
He sure does.
Huh. That's weird. Did you ever see that Cartoon Network pilot that was proto Family Guy?
Yeah, the old guy and his dog go into the mall, and the car gets cut in half.
Yeah, and it's just Family Guy, but because it's Seth MacFarlane doing the same voices, it's weird.
Yeah, Seth MacFarlane also did Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, I mean,
well, worked on. I don't think.
Yeah, I think. I'm very conflicted about Seth MacFarlane.
I was before that Western.
Oh, well, no. See, now he's in the territory of more bad than good.
Yeah, now he's Adam Sandler'd it.
Yeah. Where my memory, even despite all of Adam Sandler's, whenever I think of Adam Sandler, I think of Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison. I go, Adam Sandler's okay. And then I realize, no. I'm like, yeah, Happy Gilmore and Billy Madison were really good. And then it's like, no, but that's it.
What's the last good Adam?
Happy Gilmore. Someone
See, I was willing to be generous and say Big Daddy.
I was willing to be generous if someone was gonna say Little Nicky. But I don't like Little Nicky.
I have seen that movie maybe once, and I don't remember anything about it.
I remember he really liked Popeye's chicken.
I also remember he turned a Coke into a Pepsi.
I remember he dunked a basketball. Are we just making an Adam Sandler movie and then I have like vague suggestions and you could just turn this into any Adam Sandler modern movie?
I don't think so. I think
you got the product placements, the random actions, and then Adam Sandler looks like he's dying in the middle of it. I'm depressed.
Just found a praying.
Did you find a praying mantis?
Yeah, I just found a praying mantis.
Cool, you found a Zorak. How did it go? What call is it? Is it just a green one?
Yeah, it's.
I like praying mantises. I think they're pretty cool. That's why I have two kinds of. I have the crush bug cup, and then I have the cup that I catch the bugs and release them. It depends on the bug. There's that one time where a grasshopper flew into my house. That was upsetting.
That sounds terrifying.
Because it sounded like someone was knocking at the door, but what that was a grasshopper ramming itself into the door. So when I opened up, it flew into me. and I was startled. I'm not really afraid of bugs. Are you afraid of bugs, Nolan?
Not really.
I mean, because
Roaches are a different story.
Yeah.
I'm not so with a lot of bugs, I'm not afraid of them, but I will be startled by them.
Yeah.
So if I see a roach, I'll go, eh, but I'm not like in terror. It's like and then I have to, and then I investigate and deal with it. Or if I see a bee or a fly, it's like, oh.
The other thing about roaches is that initial startling is then replaced with disgust.
Yeah. Thankfully, I haven't had any roaches in my apartment. There was one or two that was in the basement kind of area where the water heater was, and then they were dead. So then I sprayed around there because I spray around the downstairs fairly frequently because I don't like bugs in my house.
I don't know. At most, I just have spiders, and that's about it.
Yeah. Spiders, I will let live in my house unless they're in my bathroom. I don't like bugs being in a room where I'm naked. I just don't like it. I feel like
that was your first target combo, Kevin.
Yeah, oh, it was. Oh man. Wow. I'm learning things today. See, that's how cyclical the quarantine morass is. Oh, I wanted to mention. I gotta find the actual guy's YouTube name because it's terrible. It's the terrible YouTube name, but it's the amazing channel. I'm just pulling it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Steve 1989 MRE info. That channel's great. He just eats MRE rations and talks about how they've been developed. And that's kind of it. It's prime. You're at 2 a.m. You're not quite sleepy enough to go to bed, but you're not quite awake enough to do anything. So you need 30 minutes of YouTube to get you slumbery. That's what it's there for. Apparently,
okay.
apparently,
I have no interest in that channel.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's just I came across it in my YouTube travels as I was running low on D&D lore to fall asleep to, because that.
I've been watching a lot of Ted Ed riddle videos on YouTube, but I'm getting to the point of being fed up with them because every time they start, my brain is this is gonna be more math. I don't want to do math. Screw these videos.
What is that phrase when you've seen so much of a YouTube channel that at first is really good, but then you've discovered the gimmick or the behind, and then it starts to lose its appeal? Like I know getting bored of something is universal, but there's a certain YouTube channel thing where you get the gimmick and it's not a bad gimmick, but you get it, so then it's just no longer. It's like, all right, I know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's probably happened to me a couple times.
Nietzsche says if you can put a thing into words, it has already died.
Ah, good old Nietzsche. That's why this podcast is undefinable. It'll never die. Never die. I started playing Legends of Runeterra again.
It sucks for you.
Mainly because I wanted to get enough free-to-play resources so when the new set comes out next Thursday, I can stream it and give it another chance. That's about it.
Okay, so I saw an ad for Legends of Runeterra on Twitter.
Yeah.
That was something about its marketing. What's its marketing slogan? Something like playing strategically and buying pack.
I don't know.
That's something. So I hate to tell you this, Kevin, but it sounds like their design is not more cards.
Oh no. Well, they're releasing a set with like 200, like 120 more cards. Like they've already confirmed that. They're releasing like a new faction. The issue with Runeterra is, at least from what I've played, is they've syndromed it, where by making every card viable, you can kind of put together a random pile and it'll work, which I guess helps deck building. But I'm not a good deck builder. I'm really not.
That's just to me is the wild bit. Is there's no colors. Like, it's the same problem Yu-Gi-Oh has, where a deck is going to contain X amount of the same cards because they're just universally better than everything else.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. It's basically you pick two regions and then you kind of go good stuff, or you pick a hero and then you just put everything in this deck that goes on its power. So like the samurai guy does stuff if you stun or recall units. So just put every card with stun or recall, and that's 3/4 of your deck. And then the other stuff you just put like the removal spells, and you're good to go. It's a weird game. I do feel like it will be better on the phone than it will be on the computer, because it feels like the kind of game you would play while doing something else or having something else in the background.
High praise for this game, Kevin. High praise.
It's so bizarre. I want it to be good. I think that's the problem. I really want it to be good. It's like you had all you have all the ingredients, and you're just not preparing the meal.
So let me ask you, do you actually want it to be good, or do you just want a competent rival to Magic the Gathering?
I want it to be good, because as long as Hearthstone exists, Magic has to be generous. Hearthstone sucks, but it's still like number one. So Magic has to be somewhat generous. That's fine. Magic is still having to they're still the number one that Magic will have to chase and deal with. So I don't care. I just want like another good card game to stream. That's kind of it. Because sometimes I get tired of Magic. I can only play that game for like an hour a day. So if I have another game where I can do the dailies in 30 minutes or so and be relatively like, yeah, it's pretty good, then that'd be nice.
Get some good old Gwent in here.
Yeah, I never liked Gwent. Even when I was playing Witcher 3, it just didn't.
It's pretty dumb.
And this is just me. The thing that bothers me about Gwent is that there's always, you either do really well in the first round, then you have to lose the second round because all of your resources are spent in round one, and then round three is kind of the decider. I don't like the I'm not good at portioning out my resources and doing.
Game flow's really weird on that.
Also, I like the
wood into Shovel Knight.
Yeah, the card thing.
Card.
Yeah. You know, if Teppen come out on the computer, maybe.
Okay, hold up. You want Runeterra on your phone because it would be better that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Drew, are you still there? Okay. Hello?
How much of that did you get?
I just got you want Runeterra on your phone because you'd be better, and then nothing.
Okay, so yeah, you want Runeterra on your phone, but Teppen's already on the phone and you won't even touch it.
Yeah, because I can't stream it.
If Runeterra's on your phone, you would be streaming it then.
Oh no, because I'd stream on the desktop client. That's how you do it.
Also, there's actually a what do you call it?
Oh, there's like
There's
emulators and way to do it. I just don't want to.
No, you don't even need an emulator. There's just a simple program you can run that plug your phone into your, like, you do your phone's micro USB to your computer, and then it'll just pull that up onto the desk.
Oh yeah, I just don't want to do it.
It's like mad easy, but okay.
I think part of it is because in those sort of card games, at least Runeterra's thing is that they give you so many cards that I didn't need to grind that much to get a bunch of stuff. Whereas I know in Teppen, I'm going to have to commit to it or put in money. And I don't like doing either of those things because the game I'm committed to is Magic. Runeterra is generous enough where I can play it like twice a week and get all the rewards, which is so kind of nice, or get a significant amount of them. It's very, very convenient. What else we got? Nolan, you got anything? Anything talking about?
Not really.
Yeah, that's kind of where we at.
I got a question.
Yo, shoot.
When you guys think about your list of like your favorite movies, you put animated stuff on there or no? And if you do put animated stuff in your favorite movies, do you put anime?
I mean, I did that list a while back of like my favorite movies or the most influential movies.
Yeah.
And there were no cartoons on there. That's an interesting question. Because I like cartoons a lot, but I don't know what cartoons would make my list. There would be a few.
Like Ninja Scroll.
Oh, then anime. Yeah, putting anime on there is weird. It feels weird.
I don't like Spirited Away. Would be that, I think, the only thing on the list for me.
That's hard. This is a thing personally, where even though I understand that cartoons are cartoons, cartoons count, but it's hard for me to put things. It's really hard for me to compare
anime to
like
cartoons and anime to Western live action stuff.
Yeah, like it's getting into the scenario where I think I put them in the genres because then I'm having the classic. I think it was a Simpsons joke where it was like who would win in a fight, Mike Tyson or Dr. Pepper. Where they're too different. It's like, I mean, I really like Ninja Scroll, but Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid is an incredible movie. But also, like, The Emperor's New Groove is a laugh-a-minute riot. So how am I supposed to compare? I can't.
Right. And it's the same idea can be applied to television too. Like everyone talks about how The Wire is the best television of all time, and you just want to look at them and say, "Yeah, but have you seen Utena though?"
But have you seen Malcolm in the Middle though?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
And I think that's why you have to keep things honestly in their own little genre. If you're gonna directly compare or directly put a list, because otherwise my lists are bizarre.
Yeah.
But then again, there is a charm to having such a bizarre list where if I tried to actually rank what movies I like the best, you just have this weird hodgepodge of like
there's something great on having your top 5 television shows of all time, including Malcolm in the Middle and Thunderbolt Fantasy and Revolutionary Girl Utena.
Yeah.
Well, shoot, because if you do it like that, like top movies of all time, Freddy Got Fingered is somewhere in that top 10 for me, and that's not a good movie at all.
I appreciate Freddy Got Fingered, but it is not in my top 10 list. I, I can't with a good conscience do it.
It is either the smartest movie ever or a complete train wreck, and I don't know, and that's why I'm interested in it. That's it.
Oh, it's a fascinating movie. But it is I can't put it in there because there are a lot of movies I legitimately think are incredible. And a lot of my movies are either I think my top whatever movie list, it would be primarily you'd see like old movies from the 40s through 60s and then children's cartoons. You have like The Great Escape, and then you'd have the SpongeBob movie. And then you'd be like, what is this list? You got like Cool Hand Luke, and then you get
The Iron Giant.
Yeah, the Iron Giant, and then you have The Emperor's New Groove and Crank 2 High Voltage. Actually, no, you wouldn't have Crank 2 High Voltage. You'd probably have Dread. That would be like, I really like that movie. I really like that movie a lot. Would I put the first Matrix on my list? That's the question.
I do.
Yeah.
God, that first Matrix.
First Matrix is really good. It's really good.
It's a shame they never made more.
Oh, they made the animated anthology. I thought those were really good.
Yeah.
The Animatrix was great. I liked it.
Yeah.
I think it was a good little bit of world building, and I'm glad it stopped there.
Yep. And the Matrix Online.
Yeah, okay, the Matrix Online is valuable.
No, I'm gonna say I think for next week, since we're in quarantine time, I think everyone can go home and make their list of top 10 favorite movies.
Okay, I like it. And it has to be, and you have to do the task of putting. There's no genre. It's no holds barred.
It's everything. It's if it is a
movie,
but it's a movie.
It can't be a TV. Like it has to be. I would count a movie as a self-contained story between 1 hour and 3 hour. Like it can't be. Well,
Self-contained is a tricky one. I think it just has to be, it's in the end like film genre.
There's no episodes.
That medium, and it's over an hour in length.
Yeah, okay. Because I would say no episodes, but then I gotta think about The Empire Strikes Back because that's on my list.
Yeah. Then you have to. So it's hard to define other than it is that medium over an hour.
Although, can I really put Star Wars on my list? Because a lot of Star Wars I think works better in book. I will eternally sing the praises of the Episode 3 novelization.
So, Kevin, what about Star Wars droids?
Oh yes, the Ewok Adventures too. There was few things more disappointing than watching Star Wars droids in this Ewok adventure as a kid, because you thought you found a secret Star Wars movie, and then you got why it was a secret Star Wars movie.
Yep.
Oh boy. No, I like.
So we got homework, boys.
Oh, my list is gonna look really stupid.
Ooh, I'm gonna start working on that.
Yeah, I think that's a good way. We've been going. Yeah, we're going on an hour. That's a good way to stop it. So that'll be the homework. Anyway.
Yeah.
Later days.
Later days.